So the MCU recently have been teasing the Young Avengers introduction in the MCU, with many young characters making their introduction, like Miss Marvel, many others, which I'll be going over soon in the video. And the Young Avengers are definitely coming soon. And in today's video, we'll be discussing which Young Avengers will be making into the team. So I think it's a matter of time that the Young Avengers will be making their introduction into the MCU, and we're going to have another Avengers lineup. You know, the new Avengers will be coming soon, obviously, Avengers 5, and I think the Young Avengers will be separate from, obviously, them. And maybe we'll even get the West Coast Avengers, but maybe that might be a bit far-fetched, but it could always happen. Anything could happen in the MCU. But the Young Avengers is very intriguing. You know, it's a very interesting team that it could be an amazing lineup in the MCU. And in recent projects that we have seen, I definitely think a lot of characters will be making up that team that we have seen recently. And in today's video, like I said in the intro, we'll be going over the characters that I personally think will probably most likely be making up the lineup of the Young Avengers. But if I have missed any, I think I have probably missed quite a few that could make up the team, but may not, which is probably why I didn't include them. But if you think they will, then tell us down below, and I'll definitely check them out, because I think there are definitely a few that could make it into the lineup that I haven't said. But personally, I think the ones that I put down on this list are ones that have had like the most time in the MCU, I could say, or like have been teased the most in certain projects. And yeah, I'll go over that today. And if you do enjoy the video, please like and subscribe. And yeah, let's get into it. So the first person I have on the list, which is probably the most obvious, we saw her in Hawkeye, which she got her introduction, which is obviously Kate Bishop. Now, it's a matter of time before we got Kate Bishop in the MCU, and I definitely think that she will be a Young Avenger, which everything in the MCU is going that way anyway, especially at the end of Hawkeye. And I definitely think that she will be a good, I think she'll definitely be good for the Young Avengers. You know, she's basically just another Hawkeye, and she could be that for the Young Avengers. She's also very smart as well. She's got good tactics, which we did see in the Hawkeye show, which sometimes outsmarting Clint, which is very surprising. I think Kate Bishop is a very cool character, and is a very intriguing character, which we are going to find out more about. And I think that it was confirmed or teased or rumored, whatever, that she will return in Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania. And I think that will link into another character that I have on this list later on. But yeah, that is where she'll appear next, and I'm guessing maybe in the post-credit scene of that film, we will get the first tease of the Young Avengers fully, because I think it's all, it's being set up now, with who I'll say later on. And obviously, like now, Kate Bishop, she is a character that is definitely getting set up for it, and could be the leader of it. There's a lot of characters in here that could lead it, but I think Kate Bishop, she probably will be the oldest on the team. She's in the MCU, she's like 22, I think, maybe younger. I think she's 22. Obviously, I didn't include Spider-Man on this list, which is probably, obviously he's an Avenger anyway, and it wouldn't make sense for him to go down to the Young Avengers. He could be the leader of them, which would make sense. He is the same age as Kate Bishop, but I think it makes sense and, respect on the character to keep him in the main Avengers lineup. So the next character I have on the list is Miss Marvel. Now, I think Miss Marvel, the show at the moment, it's on episode 3, and personally I think it's a good show so far, and I will be doing a review on the show like fully when it comes out, so stay tuned for that, like when all the episodes are out and when it's finished. Obviously, she's being set up mainly for Captain Marvel 2, but her future is very bright in the MCU, and I think she's going to have a similar story, I guess, to Spider-Man. And her, the actor Iman Vellani is definitely a big fan of Marvel, as we have seen. She is definitely like Tom Holland in many ways, and I think that I think Miss Marvel is definitely a good person to have on the Young Avengers lineup. I think it will be very cool to see her there. Not only will she be on the cosmic side with Captain Marvel and Monica Rambeau, but also she'll be in the Young Avengers, which obviously Captain Marvel is a part of the Avengers, and she could, I'm not saying she will, but Captain Marvel could lead the main Avengers. It could literally be anyone. Captain America, the new Captain America could. Captain Marvel, it could be anyone who leads the new Avengers. And I think Miss Marvel, she'll be on the cosmic side as well, obviously, which is what she's been set up for in Captain Marvel 2, the Marvels, obviously with her and Monica and Captain Marvel. But I think after that, I think it's definitely, the Young Avengers is definitely something that's after that for Miss Marvel, and I think it would make a lot of sense. She is 16, 17 in the MCU. I'm not too sure how old she is in the MCU, but I think that's her age. And yeah, it's just a perfect fit for the Young Avengers, personally. Now, another character we have seen recently is America Chavez from, obviously, Multiverse of Madness. And yeah, I think this one makes a lot of sense as well. You know, she is fairly young, as we know. I can't remember how old, you know, the actor Choti Gomez is 15, I think, in real life, 16 maybe, I'm not too sure, 15 or 16. So, you know, her character is pretty young as well, so I'd say her character is probably 17, 18, something like that. So, or probably even younger, I'm not too sure, I can't remember. But she is definitely going to be in the Young Avengers, I think. You know, at the end we saw her training with Doctor Strange and Wong at the end of Multiverse of Madness, and I think that, you know, with her abilities of being able to go through the multiverse and obviously punch people into a different reality, if any aliens come down, I guess they could do that. But if she is training to be a sorcerer as well, she probably has it in her too, which is why they're probably training her to do that with the sling. I definitely think that she will be a part of the Young Avengers, especially with, obviously, now that she's learned to control her power, and she can probably use it in a better way that we'll see in the future. We'll maybe see her advance with the powers that she has, and we'll see her, you know, control it in a better way, and maybe her powers will, you know, kind of upgrade in a way and become more powerful. And yeah, I think definitely America Chavez will join the team. And yeah, there's not much to say, because I think America Chavez is a character that will most likely join the Young Avengers, because, I mean, it's pointing in that direction, which is looking at that anyway. The next character I have on this list is Wiccan. Now, obviously, Wiccan is the child of, obviously, Wanda Maximoff that we saw, obviously, recently in Multiverse of Madness as well, and obviously WandaVision. And, you know, in Multiverse of Madness, in the castle, you know, the Darkhold, the castle, Chthon's castle, whatever, there is a statue of Wiccan, and Wiccan is reportedly supposed to appear in Agatha House of Harkness show, more grown up. So I'm guessing maybe it comes out of the, maybe he's born from the castle, then again, it has been destroyed, so maybe not that way. But I think that, I don't know how Wiccan is going to come into the MCU, but it's going to happen somehow. And I wonder if it's to do with Agatha House of Harkness show. Maybe Wanda will come back in there. I don't, like I said in previous videos, I don't think Wanda's dead. I definitely think she's still alive. I think it doesn't make sense to kill her off. Maybe she'll appear in the Wonder Man show, Wonder Man series that's supposed to come out, because they do have a relationship in the comics. But then again, Wanda has a relationship with pretty much every Marvel character in the comics. But I think if she does appear in Wonder Man, which would also make sense, I think it would make a lot of sense for her to appear in the House of Harkness and then bring in Wiccan again, which would then show us, you know, he is going to be a part of the Young Avengers, obviously, because his powers exceed his mother's. His powers are a lot more stronger than the Scarlet Witch's, if we're at full potential. So I do think Wiccan in the future will become a Young Avenger. Next character I have is Patriot. Now, we saw Patriot in Falcon and the Winter Soldier. Falcon and the Winter Soldier. And yeah, he was a cool character. We didn't see much of him, but he is definitely going to be Patriot. It does look like that anyway. And Patriot in the comics was a part of the Young Avengers. It would be cool to see him, because he probably will take the place of Falcon, because now Falcon is Captain America, so he's going to be a part of the main Avengers, probably, hopefully leading it, maybe Captain Marvel, I'm not too sure yet. And then Patriot will take Falcon's place, and as a Young Avenger maybe, because I think Patriot is a very cool character. And for the time he had in the show, he had a limited amount of time on Falcon and the Winter Soldier. I think he was very cool, and I think in the future he's definitely going to be a character that it will be very important to the Young Avengers. Next character I have is Iron Lad. Now, Iron Lad is actually a variant of Kang, or Nathaniel Richards, who is obviously Kang the Conqueror. And obviously there is many variants, as we found out in Loki, of He Who Remains, which is obviously Kang. And I think, obviously, Iron Lad is a very cool character in the comics, and I think he'll be very cool to see as a part of the Young Avengers, which will also tie in very nicely to, you know, the variants of Nathaniel Richards and obviously, you know, Kang the Conqueror and stuff like that. I think that will fit in nicely in the Young Avengers. And yeah, he is obviously a hero, so not all Kang's variants are bad, but most of them are pretty bad. So yeah, the last character now is, like I said earlier, Kate Bishop, is Cassie Lang. Now, Cassie Lang and Kate Bishop do have a very close connection in the comics, and both of them do start off the Young Avengers. They do join the Young Avengers together, and like I said earlier, Kate Bishop, it does link together, Kate Bishop being in Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania, because obviously Cassie Lang is Ant-Man's daughter, or what's his name daughter. He is Ant-Man's daughter, and it would make sense. It would make a lot of sense to bring them two together to join the Young Avengers, because obviously Cassie Lang is now older, and Scott Lang obviously is her dad, and it would make a lot of sense to make her join the Young Avengers with Kate Bishop in that movie, if the rumours are true of Kate Bishop actually being in that movie. I think the post-credit scene could definitely be about the Young Avengers, and I think it would make the most sense. Obviously Cassie Lang taking the boots of her father, and obviously being the next Ant-Man or whatever. So that was my list for the Young Avengers. Tell us down below who else you think will be a part of the Young Avengers. Maybe young Loki that we saw in Loki, when Loki met all with his variants, or maybe even someone else that I've missed out. But yeah, tell us down below. I hope you had a good day, and I'll see you in the next one.